Welcome back to Dolor Factor Live. I'm in the studio with OGB and Kristen Islas, and we're just talking generally about men and women, and we're comparing the good points, the bad points, more of the kind of we're not sure points, because really I think when we talk about these things in general, it depends on the circumstance and the type of relationship you're in. As I said, we've got perhaps time for one more call if there's something that you want to ask us. I do have some questions here from people, but to be honest, they're kind of deep questions, and we haven't got enough time for those. And a lot of them are repetitive, and they're more or less saying the same thing. So if you've heard me say something similar of something that you've already sent in, then that's the reason why I'm not reading them again. But, you know, we're on the set, and we're just talking generally about men and women and, you know, the things that irks them. And I was just thinking, you know, when we love, you know, our partners, it's just a shame that somewhere along the line it just turns bad. Sometimes we see it coming, sometimes we don't see it coming. And I think between the sexes, we cope with it or we deal with it differently. Now, I have two men here on the couch, and I'd like to ask the men if, let's say, generally speaking, a man feels that his relationship is not going right, what would he be more prone to do? If it's not, so Chris, if it's not really working right, are you likely to talk, to just ignore it? What is a man likely to do?
I think, you know, in most cases like this, you normally find that a breakdown in communication starts to appear, where conversations are not being held, and things have lost interest, and it's the signs of perhaps time to start thinking of maybe perhaps moving on.
Okay. All right. I have a question here. Well, I want to put to both of you. It's not a trick question. Which gender or physician talks more to patients? Is it female, male? There's no difference, or it's impossible to tell?
The male speaks more.
The male will
Yes.
speak more to the patient?
To the patient than
I'll say that because, going from my own experience, I find I can have a more lengthy conversation with a male.
Would you think it's because you were going to a male doctor? Because when I kind of looked at that question and I looked at the answers, it looked like people were saying, generally speaking, female practitioners spent more time with their patients.
I think that could be a preference as well. I mean, we could have our preferences. I mean, I see a male practitioner more than I do a female, so I'll have a lot more in common than what I would do with a female. But there's nothing to do with a female or male side. I just believe a man can have a more lengthy conversation with a male practitioner.
Okay, OGB, I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Women talk more than men in what setting? Home, work, formal settings, or social settings? When do you think women talk more? Home, work, formal, or social settings?
I think at work, because most of them who work, I mean, they spend more time at work. Then those who are not working, who are at home, they are very porous. You know, they are the news carriers.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, this survey picked up that said that women talk more at home. And again, it's quite subjective, because as you said, it all depends on what's happening. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, I keep saying that we have to, I think one of the things that women don't always realize is that we make assumptions, and I'm just generalizing. Women make assumptions, and I don't know whether as men you would agree with this statement, that particularly when it comes to women, if a man doesn't say the answer that a woman is expecting, then that man he's no good. He's lying. He's not interested. You know, he doesn't have her best, you know, interest at heart. Would you say that's a fair statement, Chris?
I'll say 50-50 on that one. The reason I'll say that it depends on the woman's character and the woman's nature. I mean, not all women. I wouldn't go to the point of saying that all women want to hear what their man says.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either, but I'm saying generally speaking, it's something that when, you know, people talk, they will say, the same way as we said in the beginning, people say women nag. It's a general thing. You know, and they'll say generally, you know, a woman wants to hear a certain thing, and if she doesn't hear that, then he can't possibly be telling him,
I
telling her the truth.
I think a lot of that is part of a woman's makeup.
Okay, okay, OGB, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, women mostly when something happens or when they get a gossip about their husband, and when the husband comes back, the woman will want to hear. Maybe he's having a discussion. The woman will pretend as if she's not in tune, because she wants to hear that gossip that is being discussed. If it's not being discussed, whatever he is saying is just like she cannot understand it. So it makes them now a little bit feel that the man is trying to hide something and they are lying. You understand? So that makes them feel uncomfortable about the man. So what happens is that sometimes they get gossip outside from their friends, but they'll keep it within themselves to see if the man will come up to tell them the truth. If the man is beating around the bush, it makes them, whatever the man is discussing, they think opposite of it.
All right, that's your take. I have listened to it. As we're wrapping up tonight, I want to go into our winner tonight. What we asked was, in addition to 350,000 loyalty points, what will the winner of the Super J IGA's It's Time for Hope to Shine Easter promotion win? And the answer is $2,000 to donate to a charity of their choice. All right, so we've got the people who entered, and Chris, I'm going to ask you to just select one person and tell us who has won this. Oh my gosh.
It's Valerie Alfonsi.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Valerie?
Valerie Alphonse spent Sunday. She must be jumping for joy. Valerie Alphonse, who was actually with us on Sunday, and she called in again tonight. Yeah. She'd won this. Well, there you go. So you know what? It means that what she was saying was right, and you guys filled it out.
She's been compensated.
Okay, and also she would have answered the Facebook component of the Super J IGA and TJ's It's Time for Hope's Shine Easter promotion. How does one qualify? And the answer was you have to visit the Super J IGA Facebook page, like the page and post a video, few lines or a picture telling Super J IGA why your charity or school deserves $500 in grocery vouchers from Super J. Now you can visit Super J's Facebook page for so many incredible offers. I'm going to put this down because, as usual, lots of nice goodie stuff here, and that's for Valerie. Good for you. Next week, someone will win a goodie bag, and it could be you if you answer correctly. How many channels do you get when you sign up for Carib Cable's basic package? And don't forget to visit all branches of Vision Express as they draw for a $200 voucher from Super J at the end of March and April. Plus, you have a chance to win a pair of jazz tickets, and no purchase is necessary. So go to Vision Express on Saturday when the shops open. I want to say thank you, both of you, for being here tonight and for coming out on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you.
We've had a really great time.
Yeah, it's good. Very good. Enjoyable time.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. And also I want to thank Auberge, Seraphine, Camilla Joseph and her staff for being really great with us. Now this Sunday, please join Onel Sanford-Baird at 6 p.m. for her new show, Onel Sanford-Bell Presents. Okay, so that's this Sunday, Easter Sunday at 6 p.m. Next week, we'll be talking about something men love and women don't understand the men's love for it. No, it's not sports, close second, but cars or motor vehicles if you prefer. On the DFL set is the best person and sponsor I can think of to build a strong case for the treatment of vehicles, what your vehicle says about you, and why people underestimate the value of maintenance. Also, he'll give us a little personal insight to a man who I think can easily be misunderstood. I'm talking about Mario Rees. He's from the Prestige Auto Holdings. He'll be in studio with us next week. Think realistically how you communicate with your partner. Think about your shortcomings and the things that make you unique, and build on making your relationships things that you want to be in, not something that you dread. There's nothing worse than dreading when you hear your partner's key in the lock. Celebrate good relationships and don't take them for granted. Why? Because DFL asked you to. Thank you for watching Dolor Factor Live. On behalf of our guests, OGB, Kristen Isles, Valerie Alphonse, Thea Harvey, the DFL team, and DBS, I'm Delia Dolor. Good night and God bless.